If that guy in that car hadn't have braked so hard on an empty road for no reason, the accident wouldn't have happened. Welcome back to our channel, fellas and gals.
Fellas and gals, welcome.
Fellas and gals, yeah.
Hello and welcome to the channel.
You always sound like a radio presenter when you say that.
Do I?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Hello, welcome to Gesto and Lane.
You're bending my foot.
Sorry.
Christ.
YouTube, TikTok, Insta, and Rumble. Please subscribe, like and comment and share.
Anyway, we just
Hi,
thought
guys.
we'd do a little bit of an introduction because we started talking about the accident and I got a little bit upset and we thought, you know what, from here on in our channel is going to be more about our life, and of course we're on bikes a lot. We started talking about the accident and unfortunately I got a little bit upset, so we thought we'd record it because this channel started out as our life diary and it kind of dissipated into just being about bikes only, and obviously after the accident we've had a lot of time to sit and think, and we've got a few issues with Mum, who unfortunately was diagnosed with dementia, so we decided to take our channel back to where it was originally supposed to be and being our life diary, haven't we?
We have indeed, yes.
Yeah, so we thought we'd just drop this in there for you to have a bit of a listen. It's more about us being able to look back on our life in the future, but we'd love you to come along with us and
the more the merrier.
Enjoy
obviously,
the things we do.
because they're considered all our friends, really. A lot of
I
people we
think-
end up meeting up with and being great friends with. So.
We've met some fabulous people through doing this channel, and we'd like to meet more of you. So yeah, follow along. Make sure you leave us a comment on. There's a little part within the next piece of audio that you're going to listen to where we invite you to comment what your thoughts are on it. So hopefully we'll see you in the comments below.
Yeah, get involved.
There you go. Have a listen. So it's the second ride out, and I don't feel like I want to go and ride again.
Baby.
I know, but I want to ride, but I don't want to ride. I feel like because it's been my whole life with riding, and it's terrified me so much. Like I'm not terrified, but I guess I'm scared of it happening again. So it's kind of removed some of the fun for me. I want to get that back. I do want to get that back, but I don't know if it's ever going to come back, darling. You know.
I think it will with time. Seeing you upset like this really saddens me as well.
I know. I feel like such a pansy though.
Why?
Because I don't know why I'm so upset about it. It's done and dusted. We're not dead, are we? You know.
Well, you've got to look at it this way. It's not really that far in, to be fair. I mean, we're only 4 months. We're still, kind of still recovering. I mean, I think we've done quite well with our recovery.
I think maybe it's because I've still got pain in my foot and I can't ride properly. I feel a bit sad, like I don't feel the same, and I don't know if I'm not going to get that back. That I find that quite sad. I
have that whole thing of thinking like I've seen the future sort of thing, where in a year's time or so I can see it going, no, I think I want to try again because I really miss it, and I see you doing that in my head almost like it was the actual future, and then you going and then loving it again because I feel like I've seen it, you know.
I know I would be happier not being in London riding for sure, because it's too busy.
Yes.
Try not to kill your girlfriend.
Try not to kill your girlfriend. Didn't try to kill you last time. To be fair, I was doing my utmost best to try not to. Honestly, there is a moment that I look back at, and I'm always thinking to myself, I wish I'd just got to the point before I was going to hit you and just fully anchored on and flipped.
Oh God, no, because that could have been worse. You might have got yourself killed.
Because I was anchored up and the bike felt like it was at about 45 degrees sort of thing, and I just thought, if I just lock it up, then I'll flip and at least I won't hit her.
Well, you might have flipped on me and hit me in the back of the head and broke my neck, darling, so that's just stupid. You can't do that. You can't keep going, I wish. It is what it is, right? Yeah. We've got to deal with the fallout. If you had have anchored on and flipped it, your back of your bike might have hit me in the back of the head and killed me. You did what you did, and it happened the way it happened for a reason.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
was trying to slow the bike down as much as possible before I came anywhere near you.
Well, just as well, really. Can you imagine the damage that had been done if you'd have been kept going?
Oh, no.
You hit me at least at probably. You must have hit me at fucking 50 at least, but the fact that I was going forward at 30 means the impact would have been sort of 20, 30 miles an hour, I guess. I don't know what you hit me at, to be fair, because I don't know what you were doing, but...
I honestly, I can't tell. I think I was probably at about 45, if I'm honest.
Mm. Do you know what I think my biggest problem is? That I had no control over it. I think that's why I get so worried about riding the bikes again, because I had no control. I didn't know it was coming, do you know what I mean? Because it was from behind. Constantly looking in my mirrors when I was out the other day, because I'm like, fucking hell, I can't tell what's coming up behind me.
No, I'm always checking my mirrors now, more often than not, and yes, I can't imagine what it must be like for you.
I feel like though that I need to get back on and do it, just for all the other women out there, if nothing else, just to prove that we don't need to be scared, you know, or that if you're scared, you just need to feel the fear and do it anyway. Like my mum's always taught me, feel the fear and do it anyway, Emma. I'm quite capable, I think.
You are. That's what I say to you every day. What's the word? Not protrude.
I protrude like a turtle's head.
No, I was trying to think of the word, and then I was thinking of the word that, like, you know, where it oozes out. Of your portray. Yeah, not oozes out your body.
You protrude.
Yeah, you portray this. Whether you think it or not, you definitely come across as a very capable, very strong person. Yeah. And
that's because really,
I think you forget that. You do it so often, you actually are that, and then you think that you're still faking it, and you're not, because you are already like that all the time.
Yeah, I know. I think this accident has left me feeling a bit. Do you know what? I think it's left me. It scared me, and I don't do scared. I've never been scared. I've not been a scared person in all my life. I've just been. I think because of the childhood and the whole. I actually think that's done me well, because it's made me strong and capable. Because I've not had any option to be anything other than that. I've had to survive, like, you know. So maybe that's why I'm so upset, because it's made me feel scared, and I don't do feeling scared. I never feel scared normally. Yeah, fear's the word, actually, not scared. Maybe it's because I fear it happening again. Because I'm not scared to ride the bike, but I'm frightened that that's going to happen again. Yeah, that's what it is then. I'm frightened it's going to happen again.
But then again, how many years have you been riding?
35.
35.
I've had one accident, and this is the first accident in 35 years. I had an accident when I was 17, but...
Since we got together, look at how many more miles we've put on bikes. How many miles in general we've been on the road. Not only just on bikes, think about this, right? Because we've travelled around Europe in our car.
Well, we did 28,000 miles on the bikes together.
Yeah.
Minimum 28,000 miles on the bikes together, because I bought Reggie when I was with you, and all the miles that were on him were from us riding.
Yeah.
And then obviously all the travel in the car and that. Yeah, and we've had no accidents.
Thousands of miles through Europe, thousands of miles through Spain, in the car, on the bikes, thousands and thousands of miles travelling in
We've
vans.
done at least 100,000 miles on our own vehicles.
At least.
Because Betsy's done at least 70,000 since I've been with you.
Yeah.
And Reggie, 28, just under 30, I think. Yeah. I reckon probably 300,000, 400,000 miles we've done.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like your one accident. So, you know, when you look at the numbers, you start to think, actually, yeah, the probability was really high at some point, because, you know, everyone at some point, with that, the more mileage you put on, the more likely you are to incur an accident statistically, and, you know, the way it comes about.
I wonder what the statistics are. I'd be interested to find out. Like, if you worked out per person per mile.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I thought that. I was like, oh, what's the average? Yeah, an average mileage people go
without having an accident.
Before having an accident or something. Yeah.
I think I've always been quite careful, though. If you think about it, I don't really ride. I mean, I don't ride like your average girl normally, but I also don't ride as fast as you blokes, so only because
I wouldn't say just girls, because I've seen a lot of guys as well that you ride faster than, or it's not so much to do with being faster, but it's you're more competent and more precise and more careful with your riding and driving in general. Do you know what I mean? Than even other guys I've seen on motorbikes.
Do you know what though? I think I've come to the conclusion at 52 years old that I don't drive carefully because I'm worried about me. Because I keep, like I said, I'm not scared of anything. There isn't anything that scares me. Do you know the only thing that makes me? There's one thing that I'm scared of, and it's pathetic, and that's the dark.
I thought you were going to say spiders.
No, if I'm going downstairs of a night time and it's dark, and I even remotely think about it's dark down there, that's it, I'm fucked. I have to put all the lights on. Yeah, I have to put all the lights on, and I literally will run up the stairs after turning the light off like a kid, which is ridiculous.
Brilliant.
Such a pervert.
I love your dirty laugh.
Do you?
Yeah, that's
Oh, it's not my dirty laugh, it's just my laugh. I can't help it, it just comes out.
Yeah, that's what they said.
That's what she said. If that guy in that car hadn't have braked so hard on an empty road for no reason, the accident wouldn't have happened.
100%.
Because I would have just been moving
Going
forward.
Yeah.
So the fact that he braked from 60 to fucking 30 in a matter of seconds as I'm trying to overtake and come up the outside.
The only thing that I can think of why he did it, unless he was on his phone or unless he was indicating and changed his mind, right? The only thing I can think of is that prior to us, if you remember, there was a Kawasaki rider and he went flying past both of us, stuck his hand and said hello. I waved at him and said hello. He then shot off past us, and I noticed he went flying past the cars. And I don't know whether that car, because sometimes cars panic when bikes go past them and they brake, and you're like, why are you braking? Just let us be. You just concentrate on what you're doing and go forward. Yeah, they see a bike and
they start acting all shady, don't they? Like the bike's going to run up their boot or something, It's like, oh, brake, oh, where's the bike got? And I get it, because, they want to see where the bike is, and sometimes you can't, but... a lot of car drivers see a bike coming up behind them and start acting all wafty, like keep braking and trying to pull over to the side. Note to you car drivers, just get on with your own drive and stop worrying about what we're doing, because all you're doing is making everyone panic because you're pulling over to the side, and if we want to pass you, we'll pass you when it's safe to do so.
Oh yeah, when you get them, they're really hugging the dirt and they're like, all this dirt's coming off the ground. You're like, really? Why on earth are you almost in the ditch?
All the dust coming up behind you.
I know, right? So they're either doing that, or they're indicating and going, oh, go past me, or they're like panicking and slowing down so much, and you're like, just stop, just stop it, just chill. Like, we know what we're doing. Oh, well, most people do.
Yeah, you.
Just get on your own journey, and we'll go past you when we can or whatever. There's so many cars that are like, I mean, I get it, and I appreciate it that some people are like really happy to let us go past, and they're like, go on, go, like, don't worry, go, we let you go past and stuff, but don't worry about it, because sometimes either we're chilling because we want to see the scenery, or we'll pass when we want to because the bike's more than capable. So
what do you think you've learnt from the accident?
I've definitely learnt I give way more space in front of me now, if you haven't noticed already, with the car and everything, because I've like seeing what other people are doing and stuff.
I wish you'd listened to me when I said that to you months ago.
Shut up.
It's okay, the bike can brake really quickly. Not as quick as a fucking car.
Well, no, that's just
lots
pure
of rubber
physics.
on the ground, yeah.
I always know cars can brake harder. Ever since the first year when we went to Galicia and I was on the Ninja and I had this guy in a car wanted to race me down this like country lane. Do you remember we was going towards Baldeo Beach?
Yeah.
And you said, be careful, because the car can like brake a lot harder.
Yeah.
So I was going and I could feel myself starting to ride beyond my limits, because I was having trouble braking in time for corners because I didn't know how to lean the bike, etc. So then I went, you know what, forget it, and I let the car pass me, and I was like, right, forget it. It was a pretty fast car, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna carry on trying to compete with this guy, because I didn't have the skill. I didn't have the skill, so I just left it. And knowing that cars can definitely brake and take corners way faster than bikes can anyway, because they've got more rubber and more brakes, etc. So hola Mimi. Hola Mimi. Hi darling. Did you enjoy your coconut chicken and carrot breakfast? Eh? Ah, yes.
He's the best dog in the world.
And your turkey tail. I think that from the accident, what have I learned more? Yeah, so giving more distance to car drivers and stuff, and being way more aware of what's going on in my front sort of, what would you call this? From the very front out to 45 degree angles, both sides, left and right, to make sure that I know all the time what's going on in this area. So instead of being, oh, look at that beautiful tree or that scenery, if I've got anyone on the road with me or near me, to think to myself, if I'm going to look at something, or if I'm going to look at the dial to see what speed I'm doing, I've got loads of distance in front of me and the person, because the time it takes me to look at something and then look back at the road, if at the very second I've looked away they've slammed their brakes on,
you're fucked.
I want to know that I've got room to look back and go shit and brake and everything. So giving myself that more distance and super checking my mirrors.
This is what I keep saying to you, this is something that I've had to put in place since I was a child, right? And that is I have routines that I use every day, all day, because of the diagnosis I had, and I didn't know till obviously when I got diagnosed this year or whatever it was. But I've put routines in place to keep me safe, and I think that's why I've been safe on my bike all these years, because I know that I don't think the same as other people, and the way I think quite often allows me to make quite bad mistakes. So I've got these routines I have in place, and I don't do things like I've said to you. I never ride angry, I never ride upset, I never ride if I'm feeling slightly off kilter, if I'm a little bit distracted in my head, I don't ride, because it's so easy on a bike for just a split second of not concentrating and you're dead. Because there's no protection. You know? And it doesn't handle like a car. So I don't think people that drive cars understand. I think people that drive cars or any other vehicle should have to drive a bike at some point to try and understand the physics of how it works and how totally unprotected you are, and then maybe they'd understand when they've got bikes coming up behind them or in front of them, how much distance to give them to make them feel comfortable, you know.
There's got to be a way. I don't think that because it depends, you know, people with balance, and some people may never want to touch a motorbike and they don't like it or whatever, but if you're doing a car license, for example, I think they should implement something where they've got a whole section that's about other road users and other vehicles. Like, for example, it's
how
very good.
How long it would take a lorry to stop for, and how long it would take a motorcycle to...
Exactly. It's really good for people like, I just want to drive cars, I'm not worried about anything else, sort of thing. Like, those people need to know, for the safety of all road users really, what it's like on a bike. So that they can understand where they're coming from, how difficult it is to see us, how much longer it takes to stop, and how we turn. A
visual simulation, you know, one of them machines where people put a helmet on and
VR.
They get the sound in their head, and they're in one of them moving things like they do with the racetracks and the roller coasters and that. It might give them an idea of what it's actually like to be on a motorcycle on the road, you know, if you get one of them 4D things.
Yeah. But I mean, as well, that also works for like lorry drivers as well, because like we've seen a lot of times where lorry drivers are making a turn and you've got on the roundabout a car smashed to pieces on the inside of the lorry, because they don't understand the turning circle. And it's like, because obviously we do vans and stuff, so we get it. Like, you have to come out further and then dip in to turn round to get the arse to come round the roundabout and stuff. You get a lot of car drivers trying to nip in the middle and then getting crushed.
If you think about it, right, even the long wheelbase or the extra long wheelbase sprinter vans we've driven, you need a shit ton of room to get them around some of them corners, because the length of the vehicle doesn't allow you to turn in one side of the road. In some of the smaller roads you've got to go over into the other side of the road, you know. And push bikes, in London, the push bikes coming up the inside of my van, the amount of times I've had a push bike banging on the side of my van, and I'm like, hang on a minute,
what are you doing?
You're in the wrong position.
What
are
you doing there? I know. It's like you said, like the small roads in London or something where you've got the bollards at the end. The only way to turn with a long wheelbase is to come right out until you're like crossing the middle central line, and then make your left-hand turn, because you can't swing it around, otherwise you're touching that, you're going to scrape the bollard. So
Yeah.
teaching other people that use different vehicles about the way other vehicles behave, I think is a really good thing.
Do you think that showing new bikers the results of accidents where people have been in the wrong positions would be helpful? Because I can't decide whether I think that it would be too
fear.
scary for
Yeah.
them, or whether we should show people these things to suggest that actually, remember, this is what can happen if you don't ride properly. This is what can happen if you lose concentration.
That's very difficult to say because of the way different people learn differently, don't they? And what might work for someone might scare another person off. So I wouldn't honestly be able to say what I think would be the right course of action to take.
I'd like to know what other people think, actually. I think we should, I think if you're listening to this, you should comment below what you think. Do you think that new motorcyclists and training motorcyclists should be shown the evidence of accidents from motorcyclists doing things wrong, so that they can understand how it works? Comment below, or wherever you're seeing or hearing this at the moment. We might even put a poll on it. I'll see.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because I'd like to know what other people think about that.
Yeah, me too. Because like I said, that's a difficult one for me, because I think, I don't know, there's a way about doing it. Like you could show like
you could show photos,
accident sites,
with arrows and things about what people have been doing.
Maybe something, I don't know, whether there's a lot of footage already out there that people can see that says viewers discretion advised. Do you know what I mean? On things where the police have put stuff out where someone's died and they've got footage and they're using it as a safety thing to show people. But so there's already stuff like that out there, but whether it should be something that they use as a tool when people are learning and being shown, it depends, doesn't it? Because it might put some people off and it might not. But then again, if it puts those people off, maybe they shouldn't be riding in the first place. Who knows?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think some people are prone to being scared out of doing something unnecessarily. Because some people are more scared than others. I mean, me in general, I think I'm pretty unscarable. There's not much that can scare me these days. Not even a big bully bloke, because I'd just pick up a chair and hit him and say, "Take that, you fucker." But
Hiya!
Hiya! With my broken foot. But
Judo chopper.
I don't know. It's something to think about. Tell us what you think. Comment below. Let us know what you think, and maybe we'll put out a poll and stuff like that, and we'll chat more about it.
Yeah.
After.
Toodly pip.
Bye.
Chums.
Toodle pip chums.